Hello, friends. This is Spencer Love, your host of Over the Top Rope on the Win Column Sports Network. Don't forget you can head to wincolumnsports.ca for all of your previews, reviews, and breaking news from the world of wrestling, be it your major promotions or from the great province of Alberta, Canada.
This is your main man RJ from the Ringside Rant, heard only on the Visionaries Wrestling Network. So go over and subscribe across all your major platforms, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Stitcher to hear every great interview I have every Monday on the Visionaries Wrestling Network. Go over and follow the show's page on Twitter @_Ringside Rant. Follow the network's page @BizWrestleNet. And, as always, embrace the vision.
If you like podcasts and you are listening to them on Backbreaker Media, then you should listen to me, Chris Parrish,
and myself, Mae,
and the Sounds of Struggle, because we are literally the most entertaining duo you'll ever come across in Western Canadian wrestling, baby.
We talk about things like wrestling
And other sports we like.
Wrestling.
But we won't talk about other sports that we don't like, because it's not that kind of podcast.
Like wrestling.
I mean, we like hockey.
And wrestling.
And we like football.
And wrestling.
And we also like to drink beer.
While wrestling.
Well, not while wrestling, but while watching wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah. If you want to get into a conversation with Maniac and Chris Parrish, then you need to tune into the Sounds of Struggle live on Backbreaker Media.
Every Thursday.
Is when we hope to drop, but sometimes Mike Malawany doesn't do his job right.
Or we're too drunk to forget.
Yeah, that happens too.
Yeah.
He can bleep out the swear word, because we weren't supposed to do that.
Oh,
but
I'll try not to swear. I can't do it.
Yeah. Let's face it, the two of us, we're real.
And spectacular.
And we're a little bit of all right.
Yeah.
Well, so Strugglicious.
That we are.
That was kind of the key. It's supposed to be a Strugglicious.
Oh, sorry, I'm drunk.
Yeah. So, if you don't want to listen to us, then no, you're stupid, because we're entertaining. And if you want to listen to us, then come listen to us on Backbreaker Media.
Yeah.
Later,
he said.
Later, bitches.
Welcome to Double Down Wrestling Podcast with KJ and Mike the Ref.
We've made it to 10 episodes.
I cannot believe it. Who would have thunk it, eh?
I thought the editor of this channel would have shut it down after 4 or 5, but...
Well, I mean, the editor of the channel showed me the downloads earlier, and I must say I'm very flattered.
Yes, folks, unfortunately, it's going to be tough to get her head through the doors of the Backbreaker Media World Headquarters here, because, her head's a little inflated after seeing those numbers.
I was flattered. Very unexpected. I don't think people liked me, or didn't think people liked me enough. Regardless.
Well, in that part, we should thank all the listeners. And fans for that.
Thank you, people. Thank you for everybody that came on to the show. Spencer and Parrish and Hayden made his very brief appearance.
And speaking of Spencer Love, he wants to send his regrets. He's not able to make it this week due to some traffic congestion. Apparently,
the guy just didn't know how to drive.
Well, I wasn't going to say it. You could say it, but
you know what, Mike? Though, more pizza for us.
That works.
That's totally fine.
And beer.
Well, still drink the same amount, but just didn't have to share.
Always a good thing. Well,
yeah.
Let's just say we might have to drink a little bit more beer after watching a little bit of WWE this week.
The mixed match challenge really mellowed me out just now. And I'm like, God, I'm sorry. And I love them. Very boring.
Sort of reminds me of everything that happened during Raw and SmackDown this week.
Oh, God, yeah. We have to get through that.
So, but we do have some other good points that we're going to talk about.
Some high notes. We'll start with the high notes. Well, we'll start with the newest signee that got Spencer Love and you and myself very hype. Impact Wrestling signed Jordan Grace to a 2-year contract.
Yes, folks. She went that way first here.
Yeah, I had to because that one really because we were just watching Impact.
Yeah,
and I got really excited because we saw a little promo for her, sort of.
We're recording this just after the Impact Wrestling tapings here, shown this Thursday, October 18th. I'm really happy to see former CWE participant Jordan Grace signed with Impact Wrestling. She's probably, I believe it's going to be next week. Is it going to be her first match? Because she was hinting that she was at New York for the tapings, so...
It really excites me. I'm really happy for her. They done good, and I really hope that her and Tessa get to have these matches.
Tessa, Taya, Allie.
Oh, for God's sakes,
the list is actually really big.
Stacked.
I actually made you sit out and watch the women's matches at Impact this week.
Yeah, I didn't watch Bound for Glory live, but you said, Kayla, you need to watch the Taya Tessa match from Bound for Glory. And then we had some time to kill because I skedaddled off work early. And we actually did watch all of Impact today, pretty much, just about.
Well, and what were your first impressions of Impact, though, that you watched, one show and then 2 matches here of the women's division there?
Well, I kind of fell off the wagon for the last, probably few months. And then even before those few months, I didn't watch for a few years. So a lot of these girls that are on Impact and are playing huge roles now weren't on it when I was watching in just, let's say, the Madison Rain / Angelina Love era. And I guess you can include Gail Kim in there because she kind of came and went. But that was kind of when I watched it at its, I don't want to say peak, but when I was watching at my viewership peak, I guess. Faithful viewer. There we go. That's the word. I was a faithful viewer when they were running the division. Flash forward a few years. Now it's Tessa, Allie, soon to be Jordan, et cetera, et cetera. I really like it. I mean, I watched the Taya and Tessa match, and it was really good. My only complaint is that I really wish Impact would use a bigger ring. A. B, I wish they would have gave him more time. But besides that, it was a great match. I loved it. Hard hitting as hell. Whew, loved it.
And then you also had Taya versus Katarina this week.
Yeah, it was nice to see her in a match against Taya. It was good. I mean, the promo Taya cut after the match was what hooked me a little. So it makes me seem that Tessa and Taya are not done with their little feud.
And then you had one of the most, I think it's one of the most interesting storylines you're seeing in wrestling right now with Allie turning into the Psycho Bunny here, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, that's what the crowd dubbed her in their little chants, Psycho Bunny, clap, 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 clap.
And, you had her taking on Alicia Edwards, which you didn't realize that she still actually wrestled here.
No, when I saw her name, I was like, wait, she's still on Impact? Good for her. I was just a little shocked. It was interesting. I really liked it. As soon as I saw Allie's hair dark, I was like, ugh, it's happening. It's happening. She's going dark. I love it. She turned that switch on and off and on and off. Damn, girl, you're good.
Well, a lot of people didn't realize she did have that Vampire Slayer gimmick before she got to TNA and then Impact here. But that's one thing we're going to have to start looking at maybe a little bit more going forward here. Maybe now that we have a little bit more time to breathe, because this is the last week of 4 matches of the Mixed Match Challenge, the Mae Young Classic. So now we got a little bit more time to breathe on these days. So
just add a little bit of Impact in there, and because my girl Tessa B is the champ, I'm a little more inclined to be faithful to the product again. No bias, but there's bias.
Just a little.
Just a little bit.
And speaking of bias, you were talking about signings.
Yes, so our next big signing. Mike, you take this away.
Well, 2 big signings that were announced today by WWE were the signings of Mia Yim and Chelsea Green, both former Impact stars, indie stars. Chelsea, of course,
Canadian girl.
well, Western Canadian, grew up, former PWA talent in Edmonton and Calgary here. Two people that absolutely deserve this spot, and I got a feeling that when we talk about next week in Evolution predictions, I got a bit of a bombshell for you. We were talking quietly here, looking over the card for Evolution coming up, but we'll get into that next week. But I got a feeling that both of these are going to have a very big impact, no pun intended, on the next couple weeks in the roster here.
Well, I asked you, because I don't think they've really clarified it on TV yet, but you say that you expect a lot of the NXT girls, sorry, not TNA girls, but technically yes, for both, but the NXT girls, you expect them to be in that Battle Royal as well, and you have a little bit of prediction there, and then now that I've seen that Mia's signing is out in the open, whatever,
Well,
I hope to hell that she's in that.
Well, she's making her debut on NXT TV next week, so.
Boom.
And they just literally filmed all the shows going up until NXT War Games, so.
Well, no spoilers, I hope.
Yeah, no, I haven't had time to take a look at them yet, so.
Yeah, good news. I'm happy for them all.
So
3 good signings right there. Boom.
Absolutely. So from here, where do you want to go? We got so much going on this week. Do we want to get to the crap, or do we want to go to the good stuff first to make us feel better?
The good stuff's always the main event.
All right, fair enough.
Always. You know this by now. I would just...
I don't know
Let's
anything.
just start with Raw. I mean, start off at the beginning of the week as usual. Okay, you made a really good point about Raw. So on Raw, there were 2 women's promos. And I had to ask you about this, especially on the podcast. So the first, you had a big complaint about it.
Well,
Do you remember what you said to me?
I had a 2-part complaint about this. There's 2 different complaints I had about these promos. And this is basically going down to the internet. I'm going to give a little bit of complaint to the internet trolls here on this first one. The first one is talking about, all the scorching takes by Ronda Rousey. Everybody's getting on her case that, we shouldn't be going through these storylines anymore and talking about who's sleeping and who's bed or whatever. Frankly, simply put, you had Nikki Bella up there talking about how she became someone who defined the term diva. Now, I'm sorry, you're going through the divas division. You're talking about that back then. Storylines like Ronda's bringing out right now were the essential part of the divas division. I understand that you were great athletes and whatnot, but this promo here just showed exactly what the divas division was all about.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a bit of a hard take.
Good point. And just sorry to quickly add before you carry on. Just because you're a good athlete doesn't mean you're a good wrestler.
Yeah, exactly.
Boom.
Honestly, if this promo would have been done on Brie Bella instead of Nikki, it would have been a hell of a lot more responsive. And I think the Bellas should have jumped into this role even before they jumped Ronda. This should have been done a while ago. When the Bellas appeared, they should have attacked Nikki already, and then work your way out so you have this match in Evolution is fine. I understand that you need to set up your stuff for your other events, but you got other girls that can fill that spot. I'm sure you could have used Natty as part of a tag team with Ronda against the Riot Squad at Super Showdown or to that effect. But they really dropped the ball at how they started off with the Bellas here. And now that the Bellas are playing the cards that they're being dealt right now, and Ronda's responding in accord, and people are whining that they don't want to hear this, I'm sorry, you're going to get what you're going to get out of these ones. So
my real only complaint is, no offense, but, well, it's not even no offense, but, so all of a sudden you attack Ronda from behind and you're guaranteed a Raw Women's title shot? and you sassed back to her a little bit, cut some promos on her. Oh, yeah, you're number one contender for the Raw Women's Championship. Congratulations.
Well, it makes me think that Stephanie might have a little bit more to do with this than to be expected.
Yeah,
so
I guess that might be a good way to think about it.
That's one way to think about it. The other one is, I believe technically the way that it works is there's one mandatory challenger and then one elective challenger. That's usually the way the WWE method works.
Yeah, it's weird.
That they have a number one contender, and then all of a sudden there's a feud that doesn't involve a number one contender. It's just somebody that really pissed off the champion. And it just seems to alternate back and forth here. So.
Yeah, I was going to say Nikki and Brie both attacked Ronda equally, but somehow Ronda's more mad at Nikki. Explain that to me. I don't know, but whatever.
Well, because Nikki might actually be a challenge. That's probably what it is.
That's the thing. Nikki's been built up to be better of the two, right? So.
And, of course, it's Brie Botch, so let's just...
yeah, Brie hasn't really helped herself, poor girl.
But
yeah, I don't know.
The other complaint I had, and this will segue into the other promo...
the Alexa, Mickey,
Trish, Lita one?
Okay.
They were carbon copies of each other.
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to bring up. You said that you felt like they were carbon copies.
Like, you had the two heels on the ramp, boo-hoo-hooing and making fun of the champion, or the ladies in the ring for that matter. You had Mickey, Lita, Ronda all saying, you know what? You girls are nothing, you're disgusting, and we're going to take you out. If you want to come to the ring right now, we will settle this right now. Both sets of people in the ring did that.
Yeah.
Both heels on the ramp take a few steps forward. Nikki even ripped her top off. Yeah, I know. It just feels weird to say that, but I digress.
Ripped her top off in anger.
And then they all walked to the back. The only difference is that the Bellas had security that got wiped out.
Well, there we go. Ronda had to release that anger she carries all the time somehow, right?
Which makes me feel that the Bellas are even weaker than what they're giving out, because at least Alexa and Mickey, actually had the guts to be there and then just walk away.
Without security, yeah. See, you're right. When you brought that up, I honestly really didn't think about it, but as soon as you said that, yeah, it's like two of this, basically the same promo, same shit, different pile, within an hour of each other, basically.
Like, who's writing this stuff? Is it two different writers writing two different storylines here?
Like, you couldn't have had, like, Ronda squash a random human and then Nikki and Brie attack her again. You had to do the exact same thing you gave Alexa. I'm sure there's, like, a million different ways you could have done that, but you chose the exact same thing.
Okay, well, whoever's agenting these two sections, I do want to give a little bit of credit right now to Ronda Rousey herself. Mm-hmm. Because according to Brian Alvarez, Ronda actually scripted her own promo on this one.
Yeah.
And the fact that Ronda even stumbled at some points, to me, that just shows how legitimate the promo was, because...
She stumbles on them even when they are scripted for her, though.
Well,
she's getting better. I will give her props. She is getting better, and it did seem legit.
But the thing
still,
is,
I'm like, meh.
The stumble that she went through on this one, to me, makes it seem that she's actually... Like, you know when you talk and you actually have a stumble?
Yeah.
Normally? That's what it felt like in this one.
It's not like you didn't rehearse it like a million times and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I can see what you mean.
She was just speaking from the heart, and she was speaking on the part of every internet fan around, so... Which we all believe exactly what she said throughout that entire promo. I'm not doubting that part. I'm just not appreciating the way that it was the whole segment was delivered in total. So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, what if? Well,
you're even going to see on SmackDown later on how that was delivered. That there's some certain bad points to that too. But what do you got next up in the box, ma'am?
Just writing my thoughts down before I forget them. Anywho, so I guess the next thing we can talk about is there wasn't honestly a lot of women things. Like there was just the Natty match where she brought the returning Sasha Banks, anticlimactically brought her back out. And Bayley as well, both of them out to be her backup. You know what? The only complaint I have is why the hell did they have Natty bring Bayley and Sasha out as her backup? Which seemed, and everyone's like, oh, now it's obvious it's going to be Natty, Bayley, Sasha versus Riot Squad at Evolution. Only to announce that Natty's going to be in the Battle Royal? What?
Well, here's the other thing that's confusing me. Like, we were talking about just before going on the air here.
Yeah.
They only have 5 matches formally announced.
Yeah.
They have a 6th one in the works with the UK title being defended at Evolution. But other than that,
They haven't really talked about it much, but yeah, it's supposed to be there.
You got a 4-hour pay-per-view you got to try and slog through here, and you got 5 matches. This is not going to be a pretty situation right now.
Well, that's the thing. I highly doubt Ronda and Nikki are going for half an hour.
Oh, if we do, I'm pretty sure that we're going to have to find some extra beer to handle. So.
Yikes. Yeah, I don't know. It really confused me because I'm like, okay, so they're not. So one of the spoilers was that, Ivory was going to be Bayley and Sasha's partner at Evolution. But then they had Natty call out Bayley and Sasha to be her backup. And then, the next morning, they said, oh, Natty's in Battle Royal, but they didn't announce Riot Squad, Sasha Bayley in it. And I'm like, what the hell was the point of bringing Natty into this all of a sudden then? What was the point? There is no point.
Just to have a placeholder?
It would have just been, yeah, that's all it seems. But then I'm like, okay, so Bayley and Sasha were only brought into it because of Natty, but then Natty's gone. But they still are going to have a match with Bayley Sasha versus Riot Squad. That makes really no sense to me. Because they haven't had a feud in months now, since before SummerSlam. It would have made more sense for Sasha to return if Bayley had a match against Ruby. Oh, beat down. Oh, cue the boss music. Sasha's back. Boom, boom, boom. In all honesty, I would rather have it be a handicap match. Bayley Sasha versus Riot Squad because, to be honest, before they had their little thing with Ronda, Bayley Sasha were getting their asses kicked by the Riot Squad every week. So make it a handicap match. I don't need a 6th woman in there that just randomly shows up. I don't know. Well, sorry, Natty, love you.
To be honest, I don't think we have to really get into it right now until
we're into it.
Until next week.
Too late. Too late. I'm already
fine.
into it. No, but I see what you mean. Until Raw happens, the last Raw before the go home Raw. Sorry. Until that happens, yeah, I guess we can't really. Anything can happen. It's freaking WWE. They'll change their mind 800 times before Raw happens on Monday.
Well, let's face it. They have. I'm going to guess probably 5 more matches to announce in a week.
Yeah.
To fill that card. So, for those that are trying to keep track here right now of what matches have been announced, you got the Ronda Nikki match, you got the Becky Charlotte match.
Yep.
You got the finals of the Mae Young Classic.
Yep.
You got the Battle Royal.
Yes. And the tag match.
You got the Alexa, Mickey, Lita Trish match.
Yep.
And you know that the NXT UK title is supposed to be defended there as well. We just don't know.
Did you say
involved.
The actual NXT title as well?
And the NXT
that one as
title.
well.
So there's your 6.
Yep.
So we still got a ton of filler yet, so 5 more matches probably, if they're planning on going somewhat near the 4-hour mark. So
I think they have to. If it's a pay-per-view, they've got to go at least 4 hours. And when I was reading an article earlier today, they were like, they expect to have about 10 matches on the card, so 10, 11 matches. So
they got a lot of things to figure out here and not a lot of time to do it.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't think we were talking about this, and I said, do you think they'd announce any last-minute matches the day of or Stephanie opening the show? Because we both know she's going to open the show to say, hey, like, Women's Evolution, blah, blah, blah. This is our own pay-per-view, blah, 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 blah. I don't think they should wait and do it then. Y'all need to promo this. You can't just do that, especially you just said that they've almost sold out now, finally.
I think it's pretty close to a sellout from what I've seen, but
so then they don't have to worry about that. But to get people actually interested in tuning into their network to watch it live, I mean, I think you kind of have to announce these matches, or at least some announcement of something of the sorts. You know what I mean? To get people whoa, what's this announcement going to be? Could it be this? Could it be that? Oh, is she just going to bring back another legend? Who knows?
Well, they've made the announcement that there's going to be 50 athletes that are going to be working this show. So
Well,
They got to start piecing some puzzle pieces together here in order to make it half decent.
I want them to put absolutely every single available woman on NXT, SmackDown, and Raw in that ring for that battle royal for a title shot. I want it to be like just so jammed in that ring that nobody can really move. Everybody's just hitting each other.
Yeah,
That's what I want to see. Start it off.
That'll work.
Like Jesus. I just want everybody to be there. And let me just express my disappointment. I'm okay. Well, actually, it's a hit and a miss, but I'm happy that the women in that battle royal are actually fighting for something that's not a freaking trophy. They're fighting for a title shot, so they're fighting for something. And B, I'm kind of disappointed in some of the names that are in a battle royal.
Well, that's where card subject to change might come in. But
Well,
we'll
that's
see.
the thing. I mean, you think about that, and then you think about the stupid women's battle royal at WrestleMania. But at the same time, they didn't win anything. You won a trophy that gets you absolutely nothing. I don't like that. You should be fighting for something. It's wrestling.
Well, they don't even mention it now.
Yeah, like Naomi put out a tweet being like, so if I win this, do I get 2 women's title shots? Because I got absolutely nothing by winning the WrestleMania one. And I said, whoosh, girl, ooh, right at my heart. I love it. Call them the F out, Naomi. Good girl. Love you. Love you to pieces. She should win it. Just for the sake of that. And she should get 2 title shots. One at the Raw title and one at the SmackDown title.
That'll work.
Throw one in for the NXT title, too. Go all the way to the UK. Get one for all 4 titles now.
Okay, now I got to recheck that beer you just had. So
All the title shots for Naomi. Just give it to her all. Anywho,
so-
moving along.
when it comes to Raw, there's only 2 other things involved here. One, I don't even know if we really need to talk about it because it's happened so many times.
What's that?
When you had Finn Balor taking on Jinder Mahal with...
Oh, we don't even need to talk about that. I forgot it happened.
Yeah, like Bailey...
Bailey ditched him 5 seconds later just to go out with Ronda and Sasha 5 seconds later.
You mean with Natty and Sasha?
What did I say?
You said Ronda and...
Oh, sorry. I meant Natty then, obviously. Sorry. Natty and Sasha 5 minutes later. Who? Finn who? I'm sorry, Finn, you're a loser. I'm just kidding. I love you, Finn. You're my favorite wrestler. Male wrestler.
All right, let's get to the other one here.
Anywho, SmackDown?
No, you still got that tag match involved yet.
What tag match?
You had Alicia and Dana,
gosh, yes.
Dana taking on Ember
yes.
and Nia.
I did watch that, actually. I don't know how I forgot about it. So Dana got the pin, correct?
Correct.
I'm not hallucinating. You know what? I'm just going to throw it out here. Give Dana a title shot. Just give her a title shot. Dana, this is my official petition for Dana to win that battle royal on Sunday. Next Sunday, sorry.
Well,
Just give it to her.
looks-
Because Dana's the shit, and she doesn't get enough credit because she's, like, never had an opportunity. I think that girl could put on a good match. I'm just going to put it out here now.
I think this is going to be the official Oprah Winfrey podcast this week. You get a title shot.
You get a title shot. Just give them all one. While we're at it, give Ember one, who, by the way, since we were talking about Chelsea and Mia earlier, so we're hoping we see them in that battle royal. Before we find out about NXT girls being in that battle royal, if it's actually true, of course, keep that in mind. Actually, Ember is my pick. I really, really would hope that she wins and gets a title shot. But here's the thing. If she wins, I really hope she goes to SmackDown and asks for that title shot. I don't want her to be on Raw for it.
That sounds like most of the wrestlers on Raw don't want to be on Raw. So
Send me to SmackDown. Yeah, when is the next shuffle up or whatever they're calling it nowadays?
Usually they do the shake up.
Shuffle up. I like the shuffle up more.
Following WrestleMania, but it's WWE. It could be all over the place. It really could be anywhere. So
Let's just put them all on SmackDown. All my favorites. I'm just going to play bias and throw them all on SmackDown. And Becky has a new challenger every single Tuesday. Whether she has the title or not. Anywho.
KJ, are you beveraging up too much here or what?
I caught my second win, Mike. It's past my bedtime. No, I really hope Ember wins it, though. I would really like, after what we've seen with Tamina on Raw randomly, like, what the? She disappears for like a year and a half and comes back on Raw?
She had a knee injury.
Let me just say, I was really happy, though. Because, honestly, I don't think Tamina gets enough credit. She's pretty damn good.
And the only part that disappointed me about this match, and it's nothing to do with the actual match itself. It's Michael freaking Cole talking about how Tamina got Nia up for a huge Samoan drop, and says he hasn't seen it before.
The frick? Didn't she do it at Royal Rumble or something?
No, yeah, Ronda did that to Nia in their rematch as well. So, yeah.
I mean, it's not a Samoan drop then by a Samoan first time.
Don't even. Yeah.
I don't know. I agree with you. Ugh, I'm rolling my eyes right now. Can you see
Michael
it?
Cole, you're drunk.
Yeah, go home. Go home, Michael Cole.
But maybe,
Yeah, I would really like to see those two in like a match, not just a 5-minute match on Raw though, with commercial breaks, so only 2 minutes of wrestling. I want to see them have a match.
absolutely, I agree
Yeah.
as well. As far as I'm concerned, but one thing I will say right now, we've spent 20 minutes talking about Raw. When it deserved
there was a lot though. Now that we think about it, holy moly,
it deserved about 3 minutes if you really think about it.
We're just thinking too far ahead. I'm trying to be a little optimist with my life, I don't know.
All right,
Tamina, Nia, book it. I want it. If you guys need help, I'll help book it. I want to see it.
It seems like the women's division on Raw needs a lot of help booking, but
Hire me. I will book.
alrighty, let's go on to SmackDown
Yeah,
now.
smack that down. So there wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah,
though,
this
eh?
is the first time in a while that we've only had
One women's segment?
one full-blown women's segment. and
I
then-
don't count Lana.
Well, I do it away because she got more action in than Rusev in their match.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Little kick to Aiden Dick Kick City there.
Oh, good lord.
At least she knows how to kick well, just like the Russian soccer team.
Oh, God. Jesus. Oh, God.
Hey, they
So we
did
don't
well
really
at the
need-
World Cup.
So we don't really need to talk about that. Nothing really happened. But we do need to talk about the cutting edge segment.
Absolutely.
Dun, dun, dun.
We've come up to a conclusion about Becky Lynch here, but
Becky freaking Lynch.
why don't you go into your thoughts of the segment before I get
You
into it?
the crowd was so funny / good that I was just really happy. I'm really surprised. Well, I know they've been trying to get Becky to be more of that quote unquote heel. And she did personally attack Edge, but holy shit, the girl still got even bigger cheers after she dissed Edge and his poor injury. I'm glad that they used... Well, not glad. I was kind of surprised that they actually used Edge in that way. I do know that he's a big Becky and Charlotte fan, though. So I could see why he would probably be like, I'll do it. Insult me all you want. But I loved it. Becky was, no pun intended, she was straight fire.
Wow.
I loved it.
My opinions on this, first of all, you are trying to get over Becky as a heel. And I think we decided that, you could bring some cats in. She could decapitate them.
Kick him into the audience.
Kick him into the audience, full of blood, squirting
Smack
all
some
over.
babies.
Smack some babies, and she'd still get over.
She'd
as a
get
face.
bigger cheers because it's Becky.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know what it's going to take to make her a full-blown bad guy here, but it's going to take a lot.
There's not one person I can think on the entire roster that if Becky were to attack right now, that people would start booing her. I can't think of one person.
No. Male,
I honestly
female.
can't. I think if let's just take the ultimate babyface Bailey. Tax Bailey, I think she'd get freaking cheered the hell out of the building.
Yeah, because...
Sorry, Bailey, love you, but I think she'd get cheered. She could make people boo Bailey more than she sometimes gets lately.
Yeah, because they want to see Bailey with the mean streak.
Yeah. Book it.
but
Book it right now.
We're getting into more booking situations
Book
here.
it. Yeah, I thought it's really interesting. This is a very interesting dynamic that I don't think a lot of women have really ever had. Besides, maybe let's just compare Psycho Mickey.
Possibly.
To how the crowd reacts and how the crowd... Mickey was psycho. Mickey was crazy. Mickey was the heel that whole time, but people popped the hell out of her when she won that title at WrestleMania. Becky's kind of the same thing. Maybe, not in the same way, obviously, but still kind of same dynamic.
To me, I think that this is one of the very few situations where you could actually do a heel turn with Charlotte in this, and it wouldn't change with Becky whatsoever, anything.
Absolutely not. I mentioned that earlier. I said, This is my one question that I would just like to pose to our Backbreaker Media universe here. Let's just hypothetically say Charlotte loses clean next Sunday. How does Charlotte come back from this? One of my things is I said maybe there should be a double turn. Maybe Charlotte disappears for a while. Charlotte hits rock bottom. I don't think swapping her back to Raw so quickly after this is going to do anything for her. I mean, she'd get booed, but she's got to be the heel against Ronda. I mean, she's got to stay out of the title picture for a while. I'm sorry. She's been in the title picture about 75-80% of the time since she's come from NXT. I think if she loses clean to Becky, she's got to find a new feud that doesn't involve the title.
Personally, I think after Evolution, if she loses, I think that they need an NXT call-up to fix her up.
The Four Horsewomen of MMA?
Either that to distract everybody from what was going on, or even somebody like a Nikki Cross.
Ooh. To face Becky or to face Charlotte?
Pick them. You could go either way on this one here.
I was actually talking to one of my friends this morning about that, and I said, you know what? I said, if Charlotte loses, that's it. For her with the SmackDown title. Who knows? It's WWE. But let's just say. And where does Charlotte go from here? I said, this is because we're all going to assume that poor Shayna doesn't retain her title. She probably won't next week against Kairi Sane. I think now is any time, no time like the present to finally pull that trigger on slowly bringing those girls up to the main roster to join Ronda. Why the hell not? I mean, what are the girls doing? Sasha and Bayley, unless they win those titles that we haven't even seen, what the hell are they doing? What's Becky gonna do? What's Charlotte gonna do? What's Ronda gonna do? Like, you have so many main title picture girls that are kind of gonna be like, well, what's next? No time than the present. They've been running the house show circuit for weeks now, the Four Horsewomen of MMA. Shayna, oh my God, why do I always forget her name? Marina Shafir, oh my God, I'm so sorry. What's her name? Starts with a J.
Sorry, I'm drawing blanks here. All I can say is...
Jessamine Duke? Something? Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I'm so sorry, I apologize. But they've been running the house show circuit underneath the name for the Four Horsewomen for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks now. No better time than the present, I'm just saying.
I think it...
Bring them up. Attack Charlotte. Let her hit rock bottom. Boom, there's Charlotte's new storyline. Book it.
Yeah, but who do you want as the face and who do you want as the heel there?
Charlotte. She's got to hit rock bottom. She's got to be the face, quote unquote. Have them beat the shit out of her for weeks.
But right now...
Cover their faces, though.
Be
anonymous.
Right now, when it comes to that whole saving baby scenario,
yeah,
she get booed out of the building. You know that.
I think that we need to see Charlotte hit rock bottom, though.
And I don't think the new Four Horsewomen are going to help that right now.
I think they can help get her there, whether she's cheered or booed.
And here's the
maybe being booed out of the building, Charlotte being booed out of the building will be hitting rock bottom. She's not winning. She's not doing anything. She's getting her ass kicked. She's being booed by the audience. Rock bottom.
Now, here's where I think you might get that heel turn. Nobody wants her to win the title, right?
I know. That's why I'm like dreading it, Mike. I didn't want to bring it up because I don't want it to happen because I will dread it.
The all-time record for championship wins.
Blech.
If she breaks that at the all-women's pay-per-view.
That's why I said double turn.
This is just literally writing itself right now. And they're going to count to 10. Charlotte's going to win. Crowd's going to crap all over it, and it's going to be worse than Roman Reigns at the end of a pay-per-view.
That's why it's got to be a double turn. And she can't be faced for a long time. But at the same time, I don't see... If she goes back to heel, she's going to be the classic heel Charlotte that we've known for years now. There's no versions of heel Charlotte. It's all the same version. I don't see her being in this Four Horsewoman angle. That's got to be played out within the next year and a half, honestly. I don't see her being a heel in it. Especially trying to get these other girls to come back into her little group to go face Ronda, blah, blah, blah. Like, How's that going to play out? She can't be the classic Charlotte heel that nobody wants to talk to. She's got to be rock bottom Charlotte.
Well,
I just want to see rock bottom Charlotte because we've never seen her like that. So I want to see it.
Adversity breeds character, and she hasn't really hit that level of adversity. So.
Yeah, I want to see it so bad. So that's why I really hope that she loses. I want to see rock bottom Charlotte. We've never seen it.
Okay.
Boom. Let's see it. But I like your idea, though. Well, I really like that, though. It's pretty cool.
Well, folks, just make sure you send in your opinions about what's going on. Maybe I'll need to do a Twitter poll here.
Yes, let's do a Twitter poll.
Maybe we'll do that next week with some of the predictions.
Yeah, let's see how Raw and SmackDown goes, and then we'll post it Wednesday or something.
Yeah, we'll look and we'll see. We'll try and figure it out here.
Boom.
But
that's it for SmackDown. Ain't
yeah,
it? Pretty much ended in a brawl. What a surprise!
That's the other thing I'm pissed off about.
They just keep fighting.
Can they come up with anything else than the pull apart brawl that Adam Pearce can't hang on? He can hang on to the NWA World Title,
but he can't hang on to Becky Lynch.
But he can't hang on to Charlotte.
Oh, sorry, Charlotte. Charlotte this week.
But either way, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I like the intensity, but it's been the same thing closing out SmackDown, sort of, not really, but for 3 weeks now.
And now
have them fight in the parking lot or something, for God's sake, something a little different.
And now it's just an opening or a mid-show segment.
Yeah, I love them, though. I still love them.
Don't worry, I love the segment. But
I just wish they could have been a little bit more creative this week. I think they lost a lot of their creative juices this week when they had a lot of these nostalgic humans come on the show.
Yeah.
We donated too many of the juices to that. We can't be a little bit more creative for poor Becky this week again.
They weren't even creative on those, especially when you bring in Evolution. That I don't even think they were together.
Evolution is a mystery.
They were even together as a stable on SmackDown, period. So
yeah, they were.
No, they weren't. They were a Raw stable. That was back at brand extension number 1.
Were they?
Yes, that's why I get so pissed.
Because Batista won the Royal Rumble, and he was going to challenge for the WWE title, which was on Raw, or the SmackDown title.
He had the option to go to either one because Benoit had that option the year before. So Batista decided to stay. And this was just
So they pretty much just brought them to SmackDown because Batista was on SmackDown for years.
Yeah.
Okay, makes great.
And Orton's on there now.
Oh, all right then. Triple H was never really on SmackDown.
Didn't you hear the famous promo from Paul Heyman to the WWE crowd at ECW One Night Stand 2005?
What's that?
He brought up the fact that JBL, the only reason he was the longest reigning SmackDown champion was because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays.
I mean,
Go back to that.
Makes sense,
that
I guess,
promo
right?
before the main event of ECW One Night Stand 2005. It is right there in black and white.
All right.
Anyway.
Someone's getting heated, and it's not me for once. He's getting there. I can see his blood pressure just rising out of his ears right now.
And they're big ears, folks.
Boom. There it is.
So where are we going from here?
Let me just make sure.
We're going to go to UK. You want to talk about the UK, or do you want to get into the Mae Young or the mixed match?
Let's just quickly go over mixed match because it was boring. I'm sorry. There was really nothing to talk about with both matches. Really, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. When it comes to character development, you're looking at Natty and Bobby Roode against Mickey and Bobby Lashley.
Bobby.
Don't get me wrong. Like, there's a reason why Leo Brush was brought out there to help Bobby.
Leo Brush. That's exactly how that mixed match challenge went this week, though. There you go, right in that sentence.
He's a little brush. That's about it.
Yeah, it was. I'm sorry. I love them all, but it was pretty boring. And then the Lana Rusev. Oh my God. Yes, I already forgot who they faced. That was a little bit more entertaining. Not a lot of wrestling in it. But no, and you Asuka and The Miz, surprise won.
So. You wouldn't expect that on in a Lana match. I will give a little shout out to The Miz there in that match.
He was pretty good, yeah.
You know, he tried to fake being Aiden English.
That was pretty funny.
His attempt at singing.
That was pretty good.
That was about as good as singing as the NVR singing the Slammer song on the Monday Night Shaw podcast this week.
Hi, Slammer. I don't think he listens, but hi, Slammer.
He
I love you.
subscribes to this network. Thank
I
you
heart
very
you.
much.
I heart you. We'll have to tag him in it so he can see his 5 seconds of fame.
Fair
Hear
enough.
his 5 seconds of fame. Whoops. Love you, Slammer. Yeah, I honestly, it was pretty uneventful. No shocker that Asuka pinned Lana, but boom.
Well, next week I'm looking forward to seeing Day One Glow taking on Asuka. So
Yeah, that'll be good. And then it's Bailey, Finn, and Natty, Bobby.
I
I
see
just
a little
hope
bit
it'll
of
be-
same as this week.
Yeah, I think that'll be a better wrestling match. Because you've got them going against like two wrestlers. Well, okay, Bobby and Mickey are wrestlers, but like I think it'll be more of a wrestling match if I'm honest.
I think there'll be a little more charisma out there just because Finn has a ton more charisma than Bobby Lashley does right now.
You mean Bobby Roode?
No, Bobby Lashley. It's Rude and Natty against Finn and
Yeah.
Bailey.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So you take out Mickey and Bobby and you replace them with. You take out Mickey and Lashley and replace them with Finn and Bailey in this
Yes.
scenario.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I'm trying to say
oh,
that
I was confused there for a sec.
having Balor replace Lashley, that to me will provide a little bit more charisma in this.
Well, and then
match.
you got Bailey as well, who can be pretty funny. Not that Mickey isn't, because she was pretty funny tonight too.
Yeah.
Hearing the banter, I like when she throws banter. Yeah, interesting, but not really. Sorry, guys. I almost fell asleep.
True that. You want to give a quick thought out on NXT UK?
Yeah, so we watched the whole episode. The first episode came out last night, so Wednesday night.
Wednesday afternoon in Canada. It's
yes, my mistake.
It's 1 o'clock.
My mistake. We watched it at night today, though. The first ever episode, let me just say that venue is sweet, and I love it. So for the women front, we had, oh my God, Nina Samuel
Yep, Nina Samuels.
versus Toni Storm, my girl Toni. It was a pretty good match. Never seen Nina work before. That was my first time. If I'm honest, I don't think I've ever heard of her. Sorry, girl. I have now, though. Yeah, not a bad match. I think it sets the tone. Next week, is that when they crown the first women's champion?
No, I think they're highlighting it with another men's match for the main event.
Question: if they don't on TV like broadcast it yet, who won the UK? Because they do have a champion right now. Spoiler alert, but I'm not really going to. They have crowned a women's champion. For the UK women. And she's supposed to have a match at Evolution. Are they going to spoil it? Or are they going to play it off like she hasn't been crowned yet?
I think they might just play it off as she hasn't been crowned.
But I think they technically put out a spoiler article that... Okay, I'm just going to say it.
Well, we'll have to dig a little bit deeper into it.
But, like, yeah, I mean, regardless, she's probably going to retain that title at Evolution / win it, maybe? Who knows?
Not sure which way we're going to go with this.
Let's just say both. Or it might just not even have the title involved. It's just going to be 4 girls from NXT UK in a fatal 4-way. Because I think it's supposed to be a fatal 4-way, right?
Well,
Regardless.
They haven't announced what match they're having.
Regardless, maybe it might not even happen. Bringing those women in. They might just be in the Battle Royale. Anywho, regardless, I think it's
WWE,
great.
get your booking straight for your pay-per-views.
Yeah, for God's sakes. Now that I think about this, because they're not going to announce it next week, sorry, I have hiccups. I think those girls won't have a match now. Because they were supposed to. I think they'll just be in the Battle Royal. Or just not on the show at all.
Who knows?
But regardless, I think that's sweet. I've seen what the title looks like. I'm so excited to watch them crown the champ, though.
All the UK titles, because they just announced
They're
the tag
beautiful.
titles. They're looking great as well. So.
They look like titles. They don't look like toys that you can buy at Toys R Us. But I'm sure you can eventually buy them at Toys R Us. But because we're in Canada and we still have Toys R Us.
Yeah, let's not pick on our American friends.
I'm sorry,
so much.
guys. I'm sorry.
You're turning heelish this week.
I'm a heel at life. I don't have to turn heel because I stay heel.
Please make sure that Envy doesn't show up here tonight.
Who's Envy?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't think I've met her yet.
Anyway,
You have to introduce us. Oh yeah, so the NXT women, not a bad start. I'm just really curious about when they're going to talk about that title because it's already out there. It's in the world. I don't have anything else to talk about unless we just besides Mae Young, of course.
The only thing I want to do right now is give a quick shout out to the insane woman of NXT, Nikki Cross.
Crap! I forgot to write a note. She's so good. Oh, I'm really intrigued to see what she's going to play. Like, okay, now that she's had a part in the main title scene now, technically, with the men of the main title scene. Velveteen Dream, Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black, etc. She has now revealed this week on NXT that
she didn't reveal anything.
Well, she revealed to Aleister Black, not to us audience.
We don't know that. Well, what are you speculating?
Well, what, is she just talking dirty to him?
She could have been saying anything. She could have said, she could have went in his ear.
They
and
alluded
said,
to it.
You can wait till next week to hear what's going on.
What a bitch.
She could have said that. And Alistair lost his crap in there.
He did. It was really interesting. I loved that whole scene. Like, I thought I loved the one from last week when she was listening to the NXT title and talking to Velveteen. I thought I liked that. But I really liked when she was rolling around in the ring and Alistair was just sitting there as he usually does, waiting for her. Points, says, come here. Tell me what's up. She whispers something. He gets pissed. Fade to black. Yeah. Fade to black.
Not the finishing move.
I love it, though. I love it. I'm really intrigued. I hope she stays in this as, like, storyline-wise, of course, because I think it's been really interesting.
Well, if it goes the way that I think it goes, we might end up getting a full-blown Candice LeRae, Nikki Cross setup here.
Yeah, you predicted that Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano have a part to play in this, hey?
I think there might be more than just them involved in this whole situation. But
that's very interesting.
I got a feeling that both of them have something involved in this. I think that Cassius Ohno is being a big red herring right now, especially now that it has been announced that William Regal's new shiny toy was signed earlier today. Bro.
Oh.
So,
but he's been on the NXT circuit for a little while now, like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, but let's face it, if you're not on TV, you don't exist.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But we could talk about NXT for an hour here. I think we want to get to the good stuff.
Mae Young Classic.
All 4 freaking quarterfinals in one episode.
Yeah, it was, I don't really have a synopsis of what I feel about this show, because I'm sorry, but the Rhea Tegan match really set the tone for the entire show for me, so I was kind of down about it. The other 3 matches were just solid, though.
I would say there were a couple that were, you could tell that these wrestlers knew that the winners would have to wrestle 3 times in one day.
Yeah.
For those that didn't know, the first round got taped on the first day.
Yep.
Rounds 2, 3, and 4, and I think it's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because the
2, 3.
You're going from 16 to 8 to 4 to 2. So yeah, that's 4 rounds. All got taped on the same day. So you're going to have 4 people that are going to wrestle 4 times in one day. That's worth a paycheck, let's put it that way.
Yeah, girl, you deserve that.
So a couple of these matches were a little shorter than expected. One for a good reason, one for, I don't know what you would call for a reason. But then you had a main event that absolutely blew everything out of the water.
Good. So good. So we'll start with the first. So we had Miko Satomura versus Lacey Lane. What did you think about it?
You mean Jade Moon, right?
I thought you were actually going to correct me for a second. I'm like, wait, what? Did I write that down wrong? Yes, the Ember Moon 2.0, Jade Moon,
which
blah, blah, blah.
I'm going to have to take that back because they did some changes before this episode.
What's that?
Where they changed her coming out to the ring a little bit differently.
She didn't do the
was
weird.
A little different.
Yeah, she had like a cape. Not as, well, I guess that's kind of like Ember Moon still, but not as much.
It was a loose cape rather than just a tight outfit
like a superhero.
Like Ember has trying to make it look a little different, which
I'm glad.
Very glad.
Yeah, I'm very happy. She had a very superhero-ish theme song, though. I loved it.
Yeah, and she basically right now that she looked a lot different than what what she did coming out before.
Yeah.
Except her hair got stuck in her.
Yeah.
What was that she had on her head there?
Oh, it was like a bandana first, and it was really distracting because it was sticking out. And I kept saying, I'm like, can you please fix your hair? Because my OCD was like coming out. But I do have to throw this out there. So everybody at me on Twitter or Instagram, message me if you thought this too. But today, Lacey Late reminded me of Toni Topaz from Riverdale. I'm sorry, like, if this was a video, let's just put them next to each other. They looked like twinsies, or at least siblings. And I was like, oh my god, she looks like Toni Topaz, minus the pink hair. Mike, you don't watch Riverdale, but they looked like they could be sisters. So everybody at me at Kayla Jamies on Twitter and tell me if you thought the same.
Yeah,
if not, Google her. They look like twins. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mike.
I was just going to say, this match was over in a flash.
Yeah, the finish happened super fast. I was like, wait, what? That was the finish? Okay.
That Death Valley driver out of nowhere by Satomura on Lane got her the victory. And she gets to progress into the finals here, or the semifinals.
Yeah, it was I wrote down, fast and hard-hitting match.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have some stiff matches that we're going to be talking about here. So
I think because they said, well, everybody knows Miko's been wrestling for like 20 years or whatever. Lacey has only been wrestling for like a year or so. I think she just keeps working on her ring psych, and honestly, she can be pretty good. I think she'll be on NXT TV pretty quick, having that title match. So
I think there is a lot of potential there for Lacey Lane. And Miko Satomura has been in the ring a hell of a lot longer than just 20 years. So
20 some odd years. Right?
Try and almost double that at this point.
She's not even 40 though, so she was wrestling in the womb?
Yeah, something like that.
She's like 41, I think didn't we Google it? 41? 40?
I think that was one of the other ones you were looking at.
We're going to Google it. As
she's
going to
be
about
Googling
the next match.
Yeah.
We need to Google this because it needs to be spoken.
She wants to prove me wrong, which is, a very common thing around
I think
here.
she's 39. Are we going to make...
You go ahead and keep Googling. I'll start talking about the next match.
Oh, Google works fast in this house.
Io Shirai versus Deonna Purrazzo.
Guess who is right, Mike?
No,
Me.
you are right as always.
She's 38, actually.
Yeah. So, yes, you were right.
Thank
20
you.
years wrestling.
20-some years, yeah. Because I think when they said that she made her WWF debut on TV in that Japan series thing they did.
WCW 1996.
Was it WCW? Oh, right. There you go. Mike, see, that's what you're for. You're for fact-checking with that. I'm just good at ages. And
she just proved me wrong, and she says I'm here for fact-checking, folks.
Yeah, but not with ages and et cetera, et cetera. Certain things.
Okay.
I was not even, like, walking yet when she had that match. Next match.
Moving on.
Io Shirai versus Deonna Purrazzo.
Your thoughts?
Okay, so we both cringed super hard. Not in a bad way, but like, oh god, that hurt. At that suicide dive on the ramp.
Io Shirai.
Damn.
Io Shirai, once again, makes this show brought to you by the letter S.
For stiff.
I'll let you go with that one.
That landing, though, you could see on both their arms after that, by the way. You could see the indents from the ramp, on their elbows. So that's just how hard they hit that. So I was like, damn. I think we could both agree we didn't really like the finish. Eh?
Io Shirai is now 2 for 4 on moonsaults.
Because you didn't like the way she stood on Deonna before she quickly jumped up on the top rope. Like, what was the point?
The other part is, she began playing it off as a face at the beginning of the match, and Deonna was playing more of a heel. Then mid-match, it just all of a sudden changed out of the blue.
Yeah, it was odd.
It was a confusing match, I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah, like it was odd structure. Regardless, good wrestled match.
But that, like you said at the end there, that Meteora, once she hit that, you don't want to get your opponent riled up even more, but then she steps on her.
Yeah, she hit like a quick move, but then slowed down to like a 0, stood on her, and then quickly jumped up onto the top rope and hit her with her...
Missed her with her moonsault.
Yeah, basically. And I'm like, what?
She overshot the moonsault by at least a good 6 inches.
But it's like you're trying to win. That was the part that got me. It's like you're trying to win, but you were going fast, and all of a sudden you completely slowed right down and stopped, stood on her, okay, I guess I should finish her now that I've done all these finishing moves. Like, I just didn't get it. Like, I get it's a proverbial slap in the face, add to insult to injury, but then I'm like, dude, you're already winning. What's the point? Anyways.
Just win.
Yeah, like, you're trying to win, and you just, like, stood there and let her recover just to... Yeah, I don't get it. Anyways, so let's move on. Rhea versus Tegan. This put me in a really somber mood after. This is, of course, when Tegan, quote-unquote, blew out her knee. I give the girl props for trying to keep going. But it was really hard to watch. It was really hard to watch, and it kind of broke my heart. But I just want to also give Rhea props because she did her job. Like, she stayed in character the whole time. She protected Tegan. Props. And the ref. What was her name? Or what is her name again?
I believe it's Aubrey. On the indie scene, she's known as Aubrey Hefner.
Oh, yes. Okay. We're going to call her that because I like that name. Girl, I'm round of applauding you. 10 out of 10. Holy shit, you're an amazing ref. You did a great job. That's all I got to say. Nobody gives refs enough credit when shit goes down. They always think of the mistakes. But when something happens like this, that shows what a ref should be like and how good they are. She's a good ref. Like, she's amazing. How she handled Tegan and Rhea in that injury spot, it was great. Well, it's not even a spot. That misfortune, sorry. There you go. I just want to point that out. She did amazing.
I'm just glad that you're recognizing referees for great jobs finally. So,
well, I mean, refs suck, but I mean, I know a good one when I see them, you know?
All right, 2 points I want to make up here on this one. Both of them have nothing to do with this match.
Okay.
Number one, I want to give a shout out to both of these competitors for the fact of how they're handling this on social media.
Oh, yeah, we were cackling like 5 minutes ago about that.
Yeah, like Rhea's playing it up on social media like she is responsible for this. And I believe the latest tweet that she put out, and this is 10 o'clock Mountain right now, the last tweet that Rhea put out about it indicated that in honor of what happened to Tegan, she went to the gym and did legs.
I cackled. Oh my God. Just like the back and forth. Like, it's obviously, since this has been taped, it's been what, almost 2 months?
Pretty close, yeah.
So, like, obviously, like, it's not fresh. They know what they're doing. Tegan's going with it. It's great. I love it. That's all I got to say. Like, it was so funny. And the Honda joke that they made.
No, hold on.
Oh, sorry, Mike, go on. Sorry, cut that out.
We're not going to cut it out, but I'm going to introduce a brand new segment to this show.
Oh, okay.
Since you have one,
you want one too? What are you going to name it, though?
Well,
Mike's bad quotes of the week, or best quotes?
You have your boss bitch of the week.
No, I have my bad bitches of the week.
Your bad bitches of the week.
Yep.
I get the dumb bitches of the week. That's what I want here.
Oh, God. You want dumb bitch of the week. Okay?
Dumb bitch of the week. I don't need 5. I just need 1. And I'm going to throw it out, especially in this show.
Okay.
For the mere fact that somebody actually brought up on Twitter.
Tegan responded to it.
That Tegan was not really injured because she got sent to the hospital in a Honda. Folks, this guy who sent out this tweet, I believe KJ is looking it up.
Yeah, I want to look up the whole thing because we have to do it justice.
Can you please give me the handle as well?
I don't know. It's not even a handle.
The guy's name, like the Twitter name.
She didn't. She just said someone said this to her in person, I think.
All right.
So let me hear. Hold on one sec.
Okay. Sorry,
We're
folks.
Just scrolling. We're just scrolling. She said, so this is a Tegan Knox tweet. She tweeted out, I have read some stuff online after the news broke, but this genuinely buckled me. Quote, it's not a real injury because she was driven away in a Honda, crying laughing face. And she says that's me done for the day.
To the gentleman, gentlelady, kid, troll, whoever put out that message online, you have officially become Mike the Ref's dumb bitch of the week.
It's like, dude, really? She blew out her knee. She's not having a heart attack. Like, come on. What's wrong with you? Like, you clearly never had an injury in your life.
If you're in America, you have to pay for ambulances. If you're in Canada, not so much.
Yeah, are you Canadian? She must be Canadian.
Well, she's British, but whoever wrote this tweet is an idiot.
Yeah, we take ambulance rides for fun up here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, we're bored. It's a Friday night. Let's take an ambulance.
Yeah, that's it. And we have igloos here, right?
Yeah, after that, we take our snow dogs out for a sled ride and fix up the roof on our igloos.
Yeah. Oh,
That's all I got to say.
no wonder we got the air conditioning going on.
While simultaneously feeding our elk pets. I'm just saying. Anywho.
My God, we could go on for a while here, folks.
While dodging the snowy owls dropping mice. Anywho.
Let's get to the main
event. So we had Mia.
Folks. This is getting interesting.
It's just so stupid. You know how many times I get. Anyways. So we had. It's so stupid.
I think we're going to have a bonus episode.
I wish I went to school on a dog sled. Let me just throw that out there. I wish. Because we use dog sleds here. I don't use my CRV. Or at the time I had a CRV. I don't anymore. Anyway, so we had Toni Storm versus Mae Young in our main event. What did you think, Mike?
My God.
Yeah,
This
pretty
match
good.
here told a hell of a story and was absolutely fantastic by both of them here. Honestly, Mia had a great chance to win this match.
Yeah.
And in many ways, she probably could have been a more suitable winner. But you will not fault Toni Storm
Oh, God, no.
for winning this. And
Yeah.
the only fault I have in the match has nothing to do with the match itself, once again. It's Michael freaking Cole.
Oh, my God. What did he say about Toni?
Well, we watched the NXT UK show earlier today. And the Storm Zero from Toni Storm on an NXT UK show, it was described as an air raid crash going down onto the knee. So basically picking up a white noise by Sheamus, whichever way you want to consider it, coming down on the knee for the 1, 2, 3. Here, you end up doing, it was basically a Tiger Driver, which Michael Cole called a Storm Zero, which I don't know whether she changed her finisher in 2 months or if Michael Cole's just that dumb.
I just don't like that he keeps substituting her last name into different things.
Oh, there's a storm a-coming.
Oh, for God's sakes. We both looked at each other and said, it's boss time! It's just the exact same thing, but Toni Storm's version. Ugh, I just can't. I don't even know.
But if you guys didn't hear, Toni Storm did get the victory, of course, with that Tiger Bomb. After the match and after the cameras went out, basically the Cedric Alexander treatment was given to Mae Young. The fire, or sorry, not the fire, the
Hire Mia.
Hire Mia.
I mean, yeah.
And then Triple H came out with a microphone and just said it in one word.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all he said was okay.
Man, if that like backstage vignette, well, not even a vignette, but little thing they did that they put out of Triple H saying, hey, we're hiring you. How do you feel about that? Didn't make you a little warm and fuzzy on the inside. You're horrible.
I was more warm and fuzzy about what Triple H did there. Just putting a smile on your face. Just how casual he was. He's like,
he does that all the time. He did that with Peyton and Billy when he told them they were going to SmackDown. He made it seem like he was firing them, but he's like, hey, you're getting promoted. Congratulations.
But the part that I liked about Triple H, he turned around and said, you guys got to stop doing this all the time because it's making you look like you're bossing me around.
To the audience. Sorry, not to Billy and Peyton. Audience. I loved it. I mean, this match I think Mia, all the other matches she had leading up to this Toni match, kept inching her closer and closer and closer to the edge. This match just shoved her over the edge for the audience to be like, you better hire this girl. And they chanted it out as soon as she lost. So, boom. They want what they want, and she was damn good in the tournament. Toni was great too, but we get to see her in another few matches, hopefully.
Well, speaking of another few matches, this is the first episode where they actually showed us the Final Four brackets. So
yeah,
I guess we could do a little predictions for next week. We got Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
And Miko Satomura and Toni Storm. Straightforward. Who's going to Evolution?
You know, it would be... So, Toni's my girl. I got to choose Toni every day. So Toni's going. I would really be intrigued to see her versus Rhea in the finals. But I think logically we know it's going to be Io.
Well, considering the number of botches she makes and she still keeps advancing with this moonsault,
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah.
And I think that Rhea was put in there. I got a feeling Tegan was supposed to win that match. Because Tegan versus...
that would have made a lot more sense. Yeah.
Tegan versus Io is something that I do believe has happened in Japan and in Europe.
Not surprised, yep.
So if you're looking right now, Miko Satomura and Toni Storm, that will be a good match because it has happened before with Tony's experience in Stardom and whatnot. So
if it isn't Rhea, I just know that Toni and Rhea is going to happen in the UK women's division, so I'm not upset about it. But I would really like to see them in the finals because I think it would be really interesting. Just like 2 different styles, 2 different girls, 2 different attitudes. Why the hell not? Both the same age, like they're 22 or whatever. Rhea, no. Yeah, I think they're both 22. Young talent. But, I mean, I don't know. Toni in the final regardless. I don't really have, besides Rhea, I don't really have a huge prediction for the other one. But Toni regardless.
Let's put it this way. Any of the 4 matchups we could get for Evolution,
that's true.
You can't go wrong.
No faults. No faults. I mean, I just don't think Miko will be in the final because I'm a Toni Storm biased fan. But I'm really looking forward to that match. I hope they get like 20 minutes. That's just me. That's me.
Well, right now, based on the fact they only have 6 matches booked, they might get an hour.
Boom. Well, I meant like next week, but I mean, sure, Evolution, give them an hour.
Well, that's the thing about next week. You got 2 matches to cover an hour, so
boom.
They could go half an hour realistically. So
well, why the hell not? Let them have 27 minutes and use the other ones for commercials for Evolution. I don't know.
That works.
Is that it? I think that's it.
I think that's pretty close to it.
I just got to do my little countdown because there's some girls that need some recognition this week.
All right, I'm going to let you go on this. Have at her.
So number 5.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
You got to give the name.
Okay, so
I'm
this
still
is...
Folks, I'm still training her yet. So
yeah, this is... I'm just like a little puppy. I need to be trained and reinforced. Psychology.
What's that puddle over there?
This is... What, the what?
Never mind.
Pug? Who says pug? Where's Austin? Where's my little puppy?
I said puddle, but that's...
Oh, I thought you said pug. Anywho, so this is my Bad Bitches of the Week segment. Not to be confused with botches, as Mike says. Bad beaches. So we're starting with number 5. Got to put Toni Storm. The girl had 2 pretty good matches on TV this week. Throw her out there. I think she was pretty great in both. Loved her. She catches my eye every time she wrestles. That's why she's one of my favorites right now. So, oh, you look like you had something to say, Mike.
No, go ahead.
Number 4. Number 4. I don't really think we will have any arguments about this, but I had to put Tessa Blanchard because of her match, Bound for Glory. What do you think about that one?
The first Impact star that's been put on the list. So
I had to because I thought she was really good in that match. Like she was clearly. I don't want to say clearly the star of the match, but she was clearly the star of the match. And I really liked the match her and Ty put on. So the only thing I said, I wish it was longer, wish the ring was bigger as well. That's all I got to say. Number 3, because I think this is pretty badass. I had to put Tegan Nox at number 3. Because of her injury and how she like literally tried to hobble around the ring, even though she had no structure in her right leg or left leg.
I believe this one was the left.
Okay, so in her left leg, she couldn't even walk. You could tell she couldn't walk. She tried and she tried. I had to put her out there because that's pretty badass. Someone that's had injuries, that's badass.
E for effort.
Yeah, that's so badass. Like so badass. Number 2. I had a hard time with number 1 and 2. But the way she dug at Edge, I had to keep her at number 1. So number 2 is Ronda. Just for her little spit and fire at Nikki. I thought that was pretty cool.
Wait, you're not having a match as one of your numbers?
No, I didn't think there was an overall memorable match besides Tessa and Taya, but Tessa stood out to me. So
wow. Holy.
I know. I do what I want. And then number one
You're
is Becky.
you're knocking down doors.
I always, I love to kick down doors.
As we're hearing trumpets coming from the outside. Folks, you can't time this stuff any better.
That was great. I hope it picked up. Maybe they're telling us we're too loud.
No, somebody's
Holy
just playing
shit.
their trumpet outside.
That is hilarious.
Anyway,
what a moment.
Number 2
I'm
and number
crying. I don't think I've ever cried in front of you. I'm crying. Number 1 is Becky for her promo. I thought it was pretty badass, especially when she dug at Edge like that. I thought it was badass. Becky is going to be hard to take off my badass bitch list for a little while if she keeps doing what she's doing. Besides that, I didn't think there was any overall standouts. None of the women's matches, besides Tessa and Taya, and Toni and Mia, were overall memorable this week. I'm sorry, there was nothing too exciting.
No, like a lot of cookie cutter stuff and
Boring.
a lot of quick matches. So
Yeah, nothing with substance besides those two I just said.
absolutely. And
So, yeah.
but I think that might just wrap it up here as you're trying to wipe those tears away from your eyes.
God, that was
here.
hilarious. I don't even know what that was. Like, that was funny.
Folks,
I'm waiting for
I
it
don't
to
know if it
happen
picked
again.
up that well on the mics here because I got special mics for making sure you pick up voices in crowds. But if you hear trumpets in the background, well, that'll be
Just randomly. It's 20 after 10 at night, and someone's playing a trumpet outside this building. That is hilarious. He wasn't half bad either. I wonder if he can come back one day.
we'll see.
That was
I'll
great.
see if we can track down this person
my
here.
gosh. I wonder if he's parked by my car.
So anyway, do you
Mike.
want to plug your stuff first, or do you want me to plug? Because I got a new plug here. So
Oh, good Lord. My phone's going off. Like you can tell, it's show weekend. I heard in the street my twin sister is going to be wrestling in Edmonton and Calgary. Calgary, Friday night. Couldn't tell you when the bell time is because I'm really tired. 7:30.
Final stand 2. Doors 7:00. Bell time 7:45. Royal Canadian Legion #1 downtown Calgary.
There you go. That's why I bring Mike because I can't remember this. Edmonton, Saturday night.
Saturday, Rise of Legends 8. If you guys don't know, this is essentially Real Canadian Wrestling's version of WrestleMania. Main event will be a Falls Count Anywhere match between Heavy Metal and Strife. I've heard reports that Envy's in action. I don't know who against, but well,
You'll just have to ask her.
yeah. Well, I ain't asking her nothing. She scares the hell out of me.
I haven't met her yet, so.
Ugh, I don't know.
Yeah, Pride will be there. My boy will be there. I don't know what he's doing, though. You have to ask Envy. Like I said, never met the girl. So.
From what I've heard on the Friday, he announced that best of 7 with Dan O'Burns is going to be continuing.
Oh, Mr. Burns.
He's up 1-0. Looking to go 2 up, but
I'm sorry, what? No, he's not. Mr. Pride is up 1-0.
yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Pride's up 1-0, looking to go up 2-0. But I think Dano might have a few tricks up his sleeve here. So
Dano's just Irish. He knows the ways.
oh my! Well,
Yeah, it'll be a good weekend. Do you have anything to plug?
oh, I got a brand new plug here.
Oh, there you go.
If you guys checked out Twitter earlier today, I made a formal announcement. As many people have heard, I'm resigning my position as general manager at Monster Pro Wrestling, effective December 2nd, essentially after the December show. I'm going back to focusing on my video on demand channel as well as working on these podcasts because let's face it, folks, if we want to, this kind of quality material just doesn't appear out of nowhere. So, but also, I am now a columnist with ProWrestlingPost.com. I want to make sure I get that website right. ProWrestlingPost.com. I'm going to be putting out articles every 2 weeks talking about the wrestling scene in Alberta, whether it's my previous tales of things that I've seen and I've dealt with, to just comments about events. My first article will be coming out on Tuesday following this podcast here on ProWrestlingPost.com. It's basically going to be a descriptive piece about where I began when it comes to wrestling and the things that got me into creating Backbreaker Media. So if you want to know a little bit about me, which, is a little bit scary if you actually do, please check out ProWrestlingPost.com. I'm going to get it right eventually.
Link can be found on Mike the Ref's Twitter page.
Yeah, pretty much.
And mine as well, because I retweeted it.
I will also let you guys know that I uploaded another episode of CWC Evolution to not only the Backbreaker Media Video on Demand channel, but also the Powerslam.tv. Make sure you check out either one of those. There's a ton of content there. We're just about to hit the 200-hour mark when it comes to content, which is almost as long as this podcast is going to be tonight. So,
oh, my God. It's not even that bad. It's like an hour.
It's an hour 18 we're going at right now.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
But
lots to cover.
Add the ads in, we might be at around 3 hours here. So,
oh, for God's sake.
Speaking of advertising, if you guys are interested in advertising, please feel free to get a hold of us in any of the show contact information in the show notes here. So,
yeah, why not? We'll work it out.
So I'm tired of plugging. Do you have anything else to plug?
No, just follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Kayla Jamies. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Oh, I guess I got to plug the next podcast that's going to be coming up on Saturday. Just trying to look for details here. Saturday morning, the legend T. James Logan is bringing his From the Second Row Productions podcast to the network with a geeking out is what he calls it. It's going to be all about pop culture and gaming and all about being a geek, which, folks, I haven't actually gone through and edited it yet, so we're both going to find out here in the next couple days what's up with that. But make sure if you subscribe to this channel, you'll get it automatically. iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, everything. YouTube, Facebook, everywhere.
I've been told I'm adorkable, so that might be the podcast for me because I'm pretty nerdy,
Adorkable?
Someone called me that today, hey? That's the first time ever someone's called me adorkable. I'm like, what? I'm sorry, what? Do you not know me?
That's new.
Yeah, I know. I've never been called that. I was like, ooh, thank you.
All right, well, we're not going to be like the Struggle Boys, and we're actually going to try and finish this, without trying to ramble too much.
Yeah, have a good night. So. Support your local wrestling. That's all I got to say.
And make sure, if you're going to have a false finish, that you also include a double down.
There, that was better. That was pretty good. You're getting there. Boom.